book of Genesis. Why?
Yeah.
We use this word Genesis. It means beginning. The word Genesis means beginning. And that's where we see beginning of God's message. The first time we see God as the creator. He created the earth in 6 days, not millions of years, not billions of years, but really in 6 days. And what was it? Day 1. No. Light. Light. God created light. Day 2, the firmament. I'll take that. Or the sky, or the heavens. Day 3. And plants, trees, etc. Good. Day 4. No, not yet. Not yet. The sun, the moon, and the stars. Day 5. French fries, right? Fish and fowl. FF. Okay. Day 6. Land animals. And mankind. So we see that creation happened in the garden. Adam and Eve God placed Adam and Eve in the garden. They ate the fruit.
Become daily.
Life. They didn't obey God. God had one rule. A simple rule. Don't eat from that tree. Very simple. Follow my way or your own way. It's up to you. And Adam and Eve decided not to follow God's way. They decided to follow their own way. They were tempted, yes, and Satan was there, but in the end, they didn't obey God. What was the result? They were kicked out of the garden, and they were separated from God? No, God was still there. God was still there. And we see in the story of Cain and Abel that God was still there. He still was with people that they were, God was close to them. And Cain, what happened? Cain became jealous and killed his brother. He hated his brother. So that's what we see. What was the result? The first murder. First murder in history. Right? First death in history was Abel. What was the result of Cain? He received the mark. He was marked by God so that people would not kill him. And he had a wife and children. And Adam and Eve had other children. And they multiplied. And we get to next we got to the ark of Noah.
God didn't do that.
God told him to. We see the opposite from Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve did not obey God. God told Noah to build an ark. And Noah said, why? Give me a reason. I want to know why. But we simply obeyed. So we see Noah building the ark. It took about 200 years or So, after the ark landed, God gave us the first covenant. You see in the Bible, a first covenant. It was a great for what? That God would never again destroy the earth with a flood. It was a promise. So we talked about the tower. The Tower of Babel. Tower of Babel. Did it look like this? We don't know, but you can guess. It was the Tower of Babel. It was a fort. Why? People wanted to show what they could do. And God said, okay. Confounded their languages, and made them speak different languages. So then what did they do? They scattered. So we see the people scattering over the Middle East. So one family who backstabbed settled in the area of Ur of the Chaldees. And that later on, as they reproduced, it came to a man named Abram. And his father's name was close. Terah. So, he moved with his family. Terah moved with his family. Where? He moved from Ur to where? To the city of Haran. In this area. The name Sarah is not in this passage. So this is the family tree. Now, last week we talked about Abram and Sarai, who went into where? Egypt. Why? Why did they go to Egypt? Their sheep needed to eat, and there was no grass. Right, they had to go. They had to go where the grass was. They had to feed their sheep. So they went into Egypt. And Abram told Sarai, when we go there, you say that you're my sister. And Sarah said, okay. So we talked about that relationship, what it could have been. And now, Abram and Sarai went in, and what happened? Pharaoh saw her and he put her into his harem, and the result was God was angry. He caused all kinds of trouble. And the Egyptian and the Pharaoh said, what's going on? Is this your wife? Yes, that's my wife. Well, why didn't you tell me? And so then he was afraid, and he gave Abram a lot of stuff and said, just go away. So we find in chapter 13, and Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, Lot is Terah's grandson. Aaron died, and what happened to Lot? He went with Abram. They were like brothers. They were very close. They weren't, it wasn't really like Abram was taking care of him. They saw each other as brothers. So we see that coming increase in the scripture. And Lot went with him to the south, into the south. And Abram was very rich. He was very wealthy. In what? Cattle, silver, and gold. So Abram had a lot of stuff. Did God bless Abram? Oh, yes. Very much. And he went on his journeys from the south, even to Bethel. Now, Bethel, remember that name? What does that mean? Here, now, close. Abram, where's Bethel? He built an altar there. Yes. So he came to this place where he had pitched his tent before, between Bethel and Ai. And to the place of the altar. Where he had made there at the first. And there Abram called on the name of the Lord. So, he prayed. I like that. Abram is still showing that his heart follows and worships the Lord. He went to Egypt. He made a mistake, right? I think he did. He lied. After he came out of Egypt, what did he do? The first place where he went was he went back to the altar. And he came and spoke with the Lord again. So we see the pattern of a godly man and woman. Are they always perfect? No, they're not. The godly man and the godly woman are not always perfect. Just like Abram was not perfect. But Abram made a mistake. And what did he do? He went back to the Lord. So you see the same pattern in the life of David. You see the pattern in other godly men in their lives. You see it again and again. The godly man and woman, when they are following the Lord, if they follow the way, they get back up, go back to the Lord. So, this is where he first built the altar at Shechem. The second altar was built in Bethel, and then they went into Egypt on this route. After they came out of Egypt, they went back up to Bethel. So they're in Bethel again. Okay, with me so far. And Lot also, which went with Abram, had flocks flocks of sheep and herds and tents. What does that mean? Lot is rich too. Abram was wealthy and so was Lot. They had so much wealth that the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together. So they couldn't live together because where their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. They were too big. They had too much stuff. And there was conflict. And we see that conflict, the strife between Urban and Abram's cattle and the herdmen or shepherds of Lot's cattle. There was strife. Now, why is that? It was crowded. They had plenty, but they were herdsmen were arguing over whose stuff was whose. Right, so there was tension. Because of that, we see that Lot and Abram have to do something. Now this is odd. The next verse. And the Canaanite, what's odd about that? This comment, and the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelled there in the land. Why does it say that? Why is that there? Other people were there too, not just Abram and not just Lot. There were other people in that area settled there too. And the other people, were they like Abram and Lot? Were they the same? No. They were different. Right. Some good answers, but not the right ones yet. These people are not foreigners. Lot and Abram are the foreigners. Abram and Lot came from where? From up north. Canaanite and Perizzite had been there for a long time, and they thought this was their land. Abram and Lot had moved in. And they had to allow them to. Whatever, go ahead. You know, you can stay here for now. But Abram and Lot having so much strife that they decided. One more thing. Remember this name, Canaanite. Canaanite. you know the story. And Abram said to Lot, let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and thy herdmen. Why did they want no strife? Are they really brothers? They feel like they are brothers. Lot is really Abram's nephew, but Abram sees Lot as a brother. Adopted by Terah, and became his brother, so therefore is equal. So they were equal in their family. In Jewish history, we see Lot and Abram are pretty much, could have been the same age. We don't really know. There's a lot of debate about that, but many people think that Abram and Lot were pretty much the same age. They were close in age. So Abram said, is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me, if thou wilt take the left hand, I will go to the right. Or if thou wilt go to the right hand, I will go to the left. So he's giving them a choice. He's giving them the first choice. So this is interesting. Because God called who? God called Lot? No. Lot followed Abram. And Abram gave him a choice. What do you want to do? And Lot said, lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan. So I'll show you on the map. This is what we usually call the plain of Jordan because of the mountains. It was surrounded by mountains and it was near, specifically right in this area, it was very fertile. It was lush. This is the lake. Let's see, now it's called this. Back then, it probably wasn't dead. The water flowed. What's the river called here? The Jordan River. And it still flows there. It's still there. Right. Some people were baptized in the Jordan River. Several people here have visited that area. I hope to in the future. You can't go, and if you sink in if you go into the Dead Sea, you cannot sink. So God saw, or Lot saw this land and how green it was, and he said, that's where I want to go. He saw all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere. Before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So, my personal opinion, I think, and this is backed up by some authors, I believe that the Dead Sea back then was not dead until the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. And after the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, that caused the Dead Sea to be cut off. But the plain was well watered everywhere. It was rich. The soil was lush and fertile with lots of grass. And notice what it says. Even as the garden of the Lord. It was like the garden of the Lord. Where's the garden of the Lord? Eden. No, it's not talking about the prayer. It's talking about how rich and fertile the soil was in that area. Even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt as it comes unto Zoar. It was like Egypt where the Nile flows. It was wealthy with rivers, and it was green. And Lot said, that is what I want. And Lot chose him all the plain of the Jordan. And Lot journeyed east. And they separated themselves one from another. Did Lot made a bad choice? A bad choice? No. Not yet. He hasn't made a bad choice yet. That was a good area. It was rich, yes. It was a wealthy area. Lot's bad choice he made. Lot and Abram. They're foreigners. How did the people feel when they came in and started taking over the land? Well, back then there were many people like us. How many people were there? Back then there were not nearly as many people in the whole world. You know, we're 10 generations from Noah. So there was enough room for everyone. The people might not have liked them, but because they were so wealthy and so good for trade, they allowed them to stay there. Like Egypt as thou comest unto Zoar, which is near the Nile. Was Lot married at that time? I don't know. People say, yes, he was married, he had 2 daughters. And a wife. I'm not sure. I don't know how old Lot was. I don't know where his wife came from. I don't know how old his daughter was. So far, the Bible hasn't mentioned his wife. And so far, the Bible hasn't mentioned his children, his two daughters. Possibly he already had them. That's possible. But I cannot say for sure. So, they separated. Lot went to the east side for the sea. Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent toward Sodom. But the men of Sodom were wicked, sinners before the Lord, exceedingly. They continued. They were continuing to sin exceedingly. Now, did Lot make a bad choice? Yes. Why? Oh, good question. Good question. Did Lot know that it was a wicked city? Maybe not. Did Lot know that it was a bad town? Possibly not. So we'll see more later when we talk more about Lot later on. But Lot pitched his tent towards Sodom, or near Sodom. Since he left, lived near Sodom, pretty soon he was bound to meet people from Sodom. Would he know whether they were good or not? Yes. She thinks Lot didn't know that they were bad until he went in. See if they could find out. Okay, we'll talk more about that later. I disagree, but we'll explain more about that later. This was a big problem for Lot, so we'll discuss more about this later. So, Sodom, and another city near it named Gomorrah. Most of the Bible commentaries guess, but we don't really know specifically what they were. But most of them guess that it was, that they were in this area. It was good land. It was rich land. Yes. The water. Now, you have verse 14. After Lot left, the Lord spoke to Abram. Yeah. The Lord spoke to Abram. When? After that Lot was separated from him. So God spoke to Abram after Lot left. And said unto him, lift now thine eyes, and look from this place where there are northward and southward, and eastward and westward, for all the land which thou seest, thee will I give it, thy seed forever. We have more specific promise to Abram, that he made a covenant with God. I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth. So that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then also shall thy seed be numbered. Arise, walk through the land in the length and the breadth of it, for I will give it unto thee. So this is interesting. God is now giving Abram more specifically a promise. Why is God giving him this now? Maybe you remember the first time God spoke. Now the Lord had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, into the land that I will show thee. So I believe God was waiting until Lot was out of the picture, and then God blessed Abram. Why? Because Abram was the man in God's line, not Lot. Abram was the chosen line. God said, my people will come from him. And that was the promise. Abram knew. Lot, after Lot left, God said, okay, now I'm going to give you everything from north, south, east, and west, everywhere that you see. Walk through it. This is your land. So we see God giving a more specific blessing to Abram. Was Abram more blessed because he spent time with God and he let Lot make a choice? You're right. Lot's line? No. Lot was from the same family as Abram, but he took a different path. West, east, north, south. There would be different cities established in the future. So let me show you. Now, Abram is here. And God says north.
Right.
North, south, east, and west, right? Right? Are we good? You take that. I know. This is north. This is east, west, and south. Okay. So, God says this land I'm giving you. So where is that land now? Israel. It's the land of Israel. God promised this. So also, God reminded Abram of his promise. right, being born, children. Seed is not what they sow. It's farmers. Children. Why are they wearing the dust? They're everywhere. You can't count them. Can you pick up the grains of dirt on the beach, and can you pick up the grains of sand and count them? That's how the people of Israel would be. There would be so many millions of Israelites. God said, I will make your family great. But what's the problem? Abram has no children yet. How old is he? He's 75 at least. He's at least 75. And he might be even older by now. Then Abram removed his tent and came and to dwell in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar unto the Lord. Why? To worship the Lord. Everywhere Abram went, what did he do? He worshiped the Lord. That's part of his life. Doesn't matter where he goes, he worships the Lord. So I encourage you, wherever you go in your life, I encourage you to worship the Lord in public. Notice Abram here. Not Noah, Abram. Where does he worship? In secret in his home. Out in the open. He builds an altar. It takes time to build an altar. It takes work to build an altar. It takes sacrifice. You had to kill an animal and bury it in the fire. Why? Did God require this? Was it a law? No. There was no law in that. The law hadn't been given. There was no requirement. But Abram did it because he had a heart for the Lord. The same heart that you and I should have. So, here's Hebron. And this is where he built his altar in the southern Israel. Okay, I thought I wasn't going to finish that chapter. I wanted to finish that chapter, so good. Okay, so we'll see. War, I think. Right, we'll see war in chapter 14. What kind of war? Why did Abram bring the war? We'll wait and see. Oh, next week? Not next week, right? Not next week. I won't be here. Sorry. I'll be out. No, I'm kidding. I'm going for the DDR. Maybe you're asking DDR. It means it's a retreat. It's a retreat for me to practice. And I think it's funny, my daughter today came to me and said, she saw somebody in the DDR up there. She came up and she said, "You're going to leave?" I said, "Yes, I'm going to leave." "How long are you going to be gone?" I said, "A week." "Well, why didn't you tell me?" "Well, you should be upset." Yeah, this Saturday I'm going to leave. Aw, she was sad. She was crying. She came up and hugged me. "Why do you have to go, Daddy?" "Well, I'm going to go. It's like a camp." "But you have to go to camp. Teaching and training. I need that too. I need to be a better pastor. A better father. You are a good father. You're a good pastor. And cute. do mean it. Yes, it's in Georgia. So pray for me as I'm going to go and drive there. And there's several deaf leaders from all over the U.S. going to be there as well. So pray for us. Just asking you for it, okay? Let's close with prayer. Our Father in heaven, we thank you for your wisdom, your grace, your blessing on my life, and I see in the life of Abram that he was wealthy, he was rich, he had so much. He was blessed by you. Why? Because he chose you. And sometimes when we don't have much, we feel like, where's my blessing? But you have given me so much more than money. You've given me salvation. Abram didn't have that until much later on, when Jesus came. But Lord, I look to you to thank you for your blessing. Help us to make the right choice. Stay close to you. Lot made poor choices. But wherever Abram went, he always built an altar to worship you, to stay close to you. We never see that Lot built an altar to you, that he followed you. We never see him worship you. So we wonder whether Lot was righteous. He loved you, but where is his testimony? Where is his stand for the right thing? I pray that you will help us. We beg you to take a stand for the right. God bless you.